Hi all, I just wanted to make a video since quite some time. I think I always crib about making a video, but then I thought, okay, why not make a video? And it's just a free flow format. I have nothing written down or planned, there's no script. So the topic is MBA, right? I did my MBA 3 years back, and I have seen online that a lot of people they give a lot of flack and a lot of shit to MBAs, be it comments from Elon Musk or be it a lot of YouTubers who themselves have not done MBA but they give a very generic one size fits all advice to all, right? So a bit of background about me. I did my MBA from Symbiosis Pune, and it's not a tier 1 college, right? It's not your IIM. It's, you can say it's a tier 2 college, right? I did my MBA as a fresher, so I had no prior experience before getting into MBA, right? I feel a lot of success which I have had, but a lot of what I have done so far in my life is directly related to me doing an MBA, right? I didn't do it from a tier 1 college. I didn't have any experience before that. So I just want to put it out there, right? That if someone says that you have to do MBA from tier 1 college if you want to get a job or if you want to do something meaningful in your career, then I think that's not the right advice. It really depends on your personality, it depends on what you really want, what your vision says. And to anyone who says that, okay, MBA is useless, I think, okay, it might be useless for you, but for people who are not like you, it is very beneficial, right? So there are people who are not gifted as a coder, or who are not very, who are people managers, right? Who are people who know people management a bit more, who are also individual contributors but are better in the people setting, right? It's absolutely fine to get an MBA. So yeah, so I did my MBA from Symbiosis SCIT. A lot of things which I use in my corporate life day to day is what I have learned from my Symbiosis days. So when I joined Symbiosis as a fresher, I of course was a kid who just had done his engineering. I was very careless. I didn't care about what people thought about me. I didn't believe having an image helps, right? I thought, okay, this is what I am and this is what I'm gonna show. I'm not gonna have any, why do I care what people think about me? And I was so wrong. So there were a lot of things which I learned as a result of my MBA, which are very valuable. So number one, I think I learned about personal brand, right? So your personal brand, it supersedes you. Even before you enter a room, even before you take on a project, even before you start any work, your reputation is what solidifies if you will get that project or not, right? If the fact that people want to work with you depends on how your image is. If your image is of someone who is competent and who is a team player, then that's the best thing. Sometimes if you have a very bad image, you do not really focus on nurturing and building your image or personal brand, then people might mistook you in a lot of things. They might misunderstand you. They might think you are, a lot of opportunities will not even come your way if you do not have the right image. And those are the things which I first learned in my MBAs, right? So as I said, I was a very brash kid. I didn't believe in impressing anyone. I was like, okay, this is what I am and this is what I'm gonna show. Very quickly I realized in MBA that a lot of marks or a lot of internships that you get are based on your image. So there are 11 odd subjects every semester, and for every subject you need to have a group presentation. And these groups are formed basically on your own. Like, you have to go out there and find people to work with you. Generally people want to team up with people who are deemed to be strong, or who are deemed to be very nice contributors. You don't want to associate with people who are in any shape or form thought of as weak, or people who think, okay, he is not that strong. So if you have any image where don't portray reliability, quickly you realize that people, they do not really want to work with you. And that means that, okay, the group that is formed is a very subpar group, and even in that group, if you tend to work 5 times your normal capacity, still you will not be able to catch in a group where all the good people have teamed up, and now they are, everyone is contributing 120% each person. You cannot match that group, right? And it starts taking a toll, because you have to depend on all of these other people who are with you, because 11 subjects, it's impossible for you to do all the presentations and all the academic things. So you have to sort of rely on the group of people that you find in it. So that was the first thing which I learned, like having your own personal brand, why it's important to have a good image around people, how your image supersedes you. Even before you step into a room, your image is doing a lot of work for you. In your absence, your image is the one which has your back. So building a good personal brand and a good personal image is very important. So that is one of the most important things which I learned personally in my MBA, where also MBA was very hectic. It is 24/7. It's like you are on 24/7. You just get 5 hours of sleep and that's all, right? 5-6 hours of sleep, and the rest of the 2 years is a complete blur. You don't even remember. You don't have a life. You are working on your academics. More than that, you're working on your interviews, so your internships, your placements, your CV, your prep, right? That is more important than academics. And sometimes beyond that, you have to stretch yourself and work for all the college committees, your clubs and all of that, because those are also some things which you really have to do, so that you could leverage those things and add it as an experience on your CV, right? And plus it is, if you're in your MBA and you're not taking part in clubs and not doing anything extracurricular, then it's a shame, right? So managing multiple things with no time, maintaining your own image, keeping yourself polished, talking well, competing very fiercely with all the batchmates, right? So everyone is hungry for the best placements possible. So the competition, the politics is fierce. It's just by design that MBA is very fierce, right? So all of that, I think, makes a guy or a girl ready for the management aspects of corporate, right? And a lot of things and a lot of nuances in corporate is not work, but all of this, right? So people management, how your image is working for you, how you can get more projects, how you can do more sales, how you are able to very efficiently and swiftly navigate the corporate landscape without offending people, without stepping on someone's ego, right? It does sometimes happen. It does. You still, even you are human, sometimes you do end up stepping on people's feelings, and that happens. But I think with an MBA, you do get a head start to a lot of people, because I have seen a lot of good individual contributors in corporate, but after a time they get stagnant, right? And an individual contributor is just so effective, right? Because his effectiveness is only dependent on his or her performance, his or her ability to stay up to date with the industry trends. But a people person or a people manager, or a person who is able to pull the best out of all people, he always stays relevant, because his efficiency is not just linked to his own individual contributions, but all the contributions he's able to bring out of people. His leadership skills, his clarity that he brings to the team, the empowerment that he bestows upon other people, the leaders that he's able to form within his own small team, right? So I think individual contributor is amazing, but a person who is able to bring more out of other people while being polite and while getting the work done is, I think, a quality which is most required in corporate, right? And when it comes to tier 2, right, people all generally say that, okay, go for tier 1, don't go for tier 2. See, everyone's situation is different. Of course, if you're getting tier 1, you should go for tier 1 MBA school. You find your path to success quite fast there. But even if you do end up in a tier 2 MBA college, I think it's absolutely fine, right? I still know a lot of good engineering colleges, tier 1 engineering colleges, who are not able to place their own students, right? But yet a lot of tier 2 MBA schools are able to place their own students for upwards of 10 to 12 lakhs per annum, which even a tier 1 engineering college is not able to achieve, right? So which does mean that it's not that bad, right? Okay, you'll not get 30 lakhs per annum in a tier 2 MBA, but you will definitely get 12 lakh or a 15 lakh entry level role. And if you have a very clear vision of what you want and where do you want to build your career, in that case a tier 2 MBA college is gonna be absolutely fine. It's gonna get the job done basically, right? So yeah.